Get ready to experience an unvarnished look at the genius and chaos of John Bonham, from his soaring triumphs to the hidden struggles that only he truly knew. In the annals of rock, few drummers have left a mark as profound as Bonham's, the very pulse of Led Zeppelin. His earth-shaking beats and technical brilliance didn't merely drive the band's sound, they transformed what it meant to be a drummer. With hands that struck like sledgehammers and feet that moved at machine-gun speed, he was an unstoppable force. Yet beyond his explosive stage presence, Bonham was a musician of deep passion and a devoted family man, a walking earthquake with a heart of gold, as John Paul Jones fondly recalled. Jones, the quiet architect behind Led Zeppelin's sonic magic, often stayed out of the limelight compared to Robert Plant's flamboyance and Jimmy Page's mystique. Still, as Bonham's closest partner in the rhythm section, Jones knew the man behind those monumental drum solos better than almost anyone, and he assures us that life with Bonham was never dull. Bonham didn't just play the drums, he dominated them. Jones remembers with a smile how Bonham would pummel the kit as if he were collecting a debt. His style was raw and physical, as if he were wrestling with a living, breathing beast every night. Yet despite that intensity, Bonham was known for his fierce loyalty and infectious sense of humor. One time, during a recording session, when he needed inspiration, he set off a firecracker in the studio. The producer nearly had a heart attack, but Bonham just grinned and said, "Now we're awake." Beneath the wild antics, however, lay a perfectionist whose dedication to his craft was unmatched. He wasn't content with merely being great, he strove to be the very best, and by all accounts, he was. Although Jones is usually reserved when talking about Bonham's passing, in a rare moment of reflection he admitted the enormous void left behind. "We all knew he was extraordinary, though I doubt he ever realized just how much he revolutionized music," Jones said, pausing before adding with a smirk, "and how many eardrums he obliterated along the way." Jones and Bonham first crossed paths in the late 1960s when Jimmy Page was assembling the lineup that would become Led Zeppelin. At that point, Jones was already a respected session musician with a vast musical knowledge, while Bonham was a raw, unrefined force whose instinctive groove and sheer power set him apart. "The first time we played together, I knew he was special," Jones recalled. "He had that raw energy combined with an unexpected finesse and swing. He wasn't just loud, he was musical." While many rock drummers of the time relied solely on volume and aggression, Bonham blended thunderous power with intricate technical precision, a balance rarely seen in rock music. He wasn't merely about brute force, he was a master of dynamics, able to shift from whisper-soft ghost notes to earth-shattering fills in an instant. His deep love for jazz, drawing inspiration from legends like Buddy Rich and Gene Krupa, allowed him to infuse even the heaviest Zeppelin tracks with a fluid, swinging groove. Songs like Good Times Bad Times and Fool in the Rain are perfect examples of that fusion of might and subtlety, proving that Bonham was not just a rock drummer but a true innovator. Before long, the chemistry between Jones and Bonham formed one of rock's most inseparable rhythm sections, the very backbone of Led Zeppelin's groundbreaking sound. While Plant and Page commanded the stage, Jones and Bonham locked into grooves that could shake stadiums. "He had a natural feel, an instinct that you just can't teach," Jones explained. "Every hit came straight from the gut, a rare mix of technical skill, raw energy, and musical intuition that cemented his legacy." Bonham wasn't just the powerhouse behind Led Zeppelin, he was one of the greatest drummers to ever live. Jones often stressed that Bonham was more than just speed or volume, he had an innate sense of feel that made the band's music uniquely alive. He had a way of making every beat groove, no matter how heavy the song, Jones recalled. Good Times Bad Times showcased his technical brilliance with those rapid-fire triplets, but it was always about the feel. Bonham's drumming didn't just fill space, it propelled the music forward with infectious energy. Whether it was the cavernous drum sound of When the Levee Breaks or the monumental, slow-building rhythm of Kashmir, his command of tempo and dynamics turned every beat into a force of nature. Jones also recalled Bonham's legendary live performances, especially the epic Moby Dick solo that left audiences in awe. While many saw it as a display of pure power, it was truly a masterclass in musicality. Bonham was always improvising, responding to the energy of the room, treating each performance as a living, breathing conversation with his drums. "That was the magic of Bonham," Jones said. "He wasn't just playing, he was communicating with his instrument, making even the heaviest beats groove in a way that still feels vital today." John Bonham was more than just a drummer, he was a rhythmic architect, a master of groove, and the heartbeat of Led Zeppelin. His influence stretches far beyond rock history, inspiring generations of drummers who aim to balance power with nuance. For John Paul Jones, the connection they shared was almost telepathic. "From the moment we started playing together, our chemistry was undeniable. We didn't need to plan, it just happened. I'd tweak a groove ever so slightly, and he'd instinctively follow," Jones said. This unspoken musical bond shines through in tracks like Ramble On and Dazed and Confused, where the bass and drums intertwine seamlessly to create a sound that is both heavy and fluid. In Ramble On, Jones's melodic bass dances around Bonham's dynamic, syncopated drumming, while in Dazed and Confused their interplay builds tension and release, shifting effortlessly between the atmospheric and the explosive. Such instinctive synergy wasn't taught, it was felt, and it helped shape the legendary sound of Led Zeppelin. Jones summed it up by saying that the partnership between Bonham and himself formed one of the greatest rhythm sections in rock history. Bonham's drumming was larger than life, and his personality was equally intense, a man of extremes, passionately devoted to his craft, wildly unpredictable on stage, yet unfailingly loyal to those he cared about. To many, he was the powerhouse drummer of Led Zeppelin, but those who truly knew him saw a much more complex figure. Yes, he had a wild side, Jones recalled, but he was also incredibly kind. He'd give you the shirt off his back if you needed it. Despite his onstage ferocity, Bonham was known for his generosity and warmth, a devoted family man who cherished returning home to his wife and children after long tours. His infectious laughter could light up any room. But with that intensity came personal demons. As the pressures of fame mounted, the relentless touring, the high expectations, and the overwhelming success, Bonham increasingly turned to alcohol as a way to cope. His drinking led to unpredictable behavior, sometimes hilarious, other times destructive. There were nights when his mischievous antics had the entire band in stitches, and others when he seemed lost in his own internal battle. "We loved him like a brother," Jones said, "but watching him struggle was painful. We tried to help, but in an era when mental health and addiction were rarely discussed, it wasn't easy." He added, "He had a heart of gold, but fame is a strange thing, it can lift you up and then weigh you down." Despite these struggles, Jones remembered Bonham not only for his legendary drumming but also for the remarkable person he was: funny, loyal, and irreplaceable. On September 25, 1980, when John Bonham passed away at the age of 32, the loss was devastating. "It didn't seem real," Jones recalled. "We'd seen him drink before, but that time was different. It felt like we lost the heart of the band." Bonham's death wasn't just the loss of an extraordinary drummer, it was the loss of a brother. The unique chemistry that made Led Zeppelin legendary could never be recreated, and soon after, the band made the heartbreaking decision to disband, because without Bonham, there was simply no Led Zeppelin. Though his life was tragically short, John Bonham's influence remains immeasurable. His thunderous beats and deep musicality continue to inspire generations, ensuring that his legacy endures. More than 4 decades after his passing, Bonham still towers over drumming history. His innovative style revolutionized rock percussion, influencing countless musicians, from stadium anthems to intimate recordings. His drumming was more than just rhythm, it was the very pulse that made Led Zeppelin's music iconic. John Paul Jones is steadfast in his belief that Bonham's legacy is secure. While many great drummers have followed in his footsteps, none have combined technical prowess, raw energy, and a soulful groove like Bonham did, a once-in-a-lifetime talent. His influence echoes in the work of countless rock and metal drummers who name him as their primary inspiration. His signature triplet-based technique, thunderous fills, and impeccable sense of groove set the standard for drummers everywhere. From Dave Grohl to Chad Smith, his impact is undeniable. Grohl, regarded as one of modern rock's best, has often hailed Bonham as his biggest influence, calling him the greatest rock drummer of all time. Similarly, Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers has studied Bonham's uncanny ability to blend power with musicality, proving that even the heaviest beats can be fluid and dynamic. Beyond his technical skills, Bonham's passion and personality shone through in every performance. He didn't just play the drums, he commanded them, elevating every song with his unmistakable touch. Even though his life was cut short, his legacy continues to shape the world of drumming. His influence reaches across rock, metal, and beyond, a lasting reminder of his extraordinary gift. John Paul Jones has never let Bonham's memory fade. Through tribute concerts, interviews, and countless stories, he ensures that the world never forgets the man behind the beat. Without him, Jones reflects, there was no Led Zeppelin. Though the band is now a part of music history, Bonham's spirit lives on every time you hear a Zeppelin song on the radio, his thunderous beat still shaking the world. In the end, John Bonham wasn't just a drummer, he was the foundation of everything Led Zeppelin achieved. His drumming, a rare blend of raw power and intricate finesse, could make a song groove effortlessly or shake an entire stadium with a single fill. The bond he shared with John Paul Jones, forged in the crucible of rock's most legendary band, remains one of the greatest musical partnerships in history. Their rhythm wasn't just about keeping time, it was about elevating every note, making Led Zeppelin sound as massive and dynamic as it was. Though Bonham is gone, his legacy is eternal.